Welcome to the Equality for Unity TED Talk. Here we discuss key issues such as gender inequalities, ageism, and racial discrimination. The big question is, how do these inequalities affect our lives? More importantly, how do these inequalities affect poverty? Gender equality. So what is gender equality? Gender equality is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Although in our society, women don't get the same opportunities as men. And society tends to label different industries for different genders. Common issues of gender inequalities are in nationality, family, sexual orientation, gender identity, employment, land and other resources, sexual violence, health, politics, and education. Today we have a special guest joining us from Malaysia. Please welcome Hariharan.
Hi.
So, first let's get into the question. How do you think gender
Okay.
discrimination affects livelihood for both men and women?
When you talk about gender discrimination, they actually concentrate more on the women's side because
Yeah.
people think men are in the more superior side of the gender equality, which they are, but there are also certain parts, certain job opportunities. When you talk about livelihood, it's more about job opportunities, assets, families, your income, wages. In terms of that, it's very complicated. The comparison is like way off the charts. Men have more benefits in some industries while women have more benefits in some too. Okay, in other terms, let's say politically, have you seen any women? When women come up to politics, do people support them actually? Are they being supported?
The thing is, they're
Yes,
not.
they are ready to do good.
Yes, I think that women are not really supported in politics. Like, if you see the majority of the positions in our governments, it's all male. But if you
Mm-hmm.
compare, like, example during this COVID situation, where like there are female leaders who actually got their countries out of like the COVID situation, like New Zealand
Yes,
and
yeah.
others.
Yeah.
But there's still
Mm-hmm.
discrimination when it comes to like electing, because they think that a male would be more suited, but they don't give chance to both female and male.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So talking about politics, okay. So why people prefer men more? Why people why women themselves don't prefer women? Have you questioned that? You know, the world's population, women dominate the world population. Do you know that? So do women actually support other women?
I guess
Do you get
Some.
my point there?
yeah, I guess, but like I still do think there's some type of culture involved into the
Yeah,
decision.
like
Of course.
traditions.
Right.
Teachings.
What do you think is the most prominent issue that prevents our society from achieving gender equality?
I think when it comes to this point, it's exactly the same, not to say exactly, but you can take some of the points from the last question, the teachings, our inheritance, like you said, our forefathers, our father, our mother. Okay, not to say all fathers, but even mothers, where they don't expect you to do the chores. They keep you superior. They
Yeah.
don't take charge, they don't want to show their power. Do men cook?
In my family,
They do. They
no.
do. They don't talk about Gordon Ramsay. I'm talking about ordinary men. No, ordinary working men.
No, I guess in most households,
Cases.
they always think that the woman should cook, because I
Mm-hmm.
guess like the parents again, they taught them that we should let women cook and men like do the job outside,
Outside, meaning,
meaning
Work.
like work.
let's just say one day women go on a strike. They
Mm-hmm.
don't do house chores. They wake up late. What will happen to the house?
Disaster.
Just imagine. Disaster, exactly. Where are you going to go get breakfast? You think all the restaurants around the place, other than fast food, actually only men work? No. Women are the majority in most restaurants, especially home cooked food. When they have the title
Mm-hmm.
home cooked food, it's usually women.
Yeah.
Men, what do they do? Basic. chopping the vegetables, fruits, whatever it is, just basic. But is that good enough? You're not dividing the work. You have to divide. You have to divide and conquer. You know how they say divide and conquer, right? Are you dividing your jobs? Just because you earn doesn't mean you are superior. Doesn't mean because you provide the income doesn't mean you're superior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that view, okay, what is the cause? Like I said, it's the teaching, it's how they were brought up. Those days,
Mm-hmm.
like now it's changing. Now they say that we need to give equal rights to women. The thing is, before they give more priority to men, even women themselves give priority to men, right? Let's just take Indians, okay? Let's just take Indians from the native country, India, okay? Women are not allowed to eat before men do. They are supposed to serve food to men before they are allowed to eat.
Yeah.
That is a very old teaching. They say they did that so that the women stay loyal to men. Now, men are the one have to stay loyal with women. So gender equality, right? Philippines, if I'm not wrong, before 2015, 2017, they actually did not want to implement the divorce, this one, right? Women are not allowed to divorce men, men are not allowed to divorce women without a proper, solid evidence. But
Mm-hmm.
usually when you actually get a divorce, it's mostly for Islamic, this one, right?
Yeah. Right now, currently in the Philippines, we're still not allowed to get like
Yeah.
divorce. It's more of annulment.
Okay, till now.
Still
Till
now,
now,
still
okay,
no
okay.
divorce.
Philippines has one of the highest numbers of employed superior women in business platforms.
Yeah.
They have their higher, yeah, okay. But when it comes to others, okay, divorce, come on. Why do people get divorced? Because maybe they have a quarrel, they don't like each other anymore. A guy
Yeah.
cheated on a girl, girl cheated on a guy. Not all women cheat on men, not all men cheat on women. So it's like very equal there. So what
Mm-hmm.
if a man is cheating on a woman, okay, and you can't get a divorce? The woman is not happy in the relationship. She can't get a divorce. How will she live? How
Yeah.
will she live her life? Okay, let's just take the Philippines for instance. You know how many guys get married twice or thrice? There are people just even in 1 year they'll get married to more than two. Yeah, see, like it's not about it's not about the status anymore. They say okay, rich people they cheat on women more, they cheat on men more, but it's not that anymore. They are just making use of that superiority. I'm not trying to side or like take sides or anything, but let's just take for example women. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when police, okay, let's just say a police case, a man hits a woman, but the woman, the police will straight away come to a conclusion saying that's the man's fault, yes or no. What if the woman, okay, the woman who got hit had actually been provoked? See, if they actually had been provoked, right? There's a huge difference. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot look at like one point. When people say
Mm-hmm.
gender equality, you cannot take things for granted.
It's like
You should like look at both
you have to look
sides.
at both
Yeah,
sides and you
yeah.
have to agree.
See, that's the thing. Gender equality, you have to look at both sides. You cannot take sides. You cannot give priority to one gender and not give priority to the other. Because it's not all the parts of society that are getting or that are receiving the same equality. When you talk about gender equality, it's actually a very wide topic. You have to touch so many phases: education, economy, politics, so many more.
How do you think
Yeah, okay.
gender inequalities can be reduced?
Of course, parents teaching, schools, very basic. Even though people don't teach you, I think if you have a little bit of common sense and you have a phone, that's for sure. You've read about so many campaigns and all, right?
Yeah.
See, when people generally they say go for a campaign, march on the roads. I don't think that is actually a choice to make, to show people gender equality or to make gender equality an issue or
I think it has to start within each person and then
yes,
spread to the community.
yes, exactly. You have to go from family to a
Mm-hmm.
society,
Mm-hmm.
then to the country. You have to
And
start from the
maybe
root.
to the world.
To the world.
Yes, maybe to the world, not maybe, it has to be.
has to do. So, in your own way, how do you think you yourself can promote gender equality in our community?
Okay, like what I did the day before, or not sure when, but I had actually talked about the LGBTQ community. Okay,
Yeah,
I posted a few stories, which I think almost like 50 people, 50 plus my friends, close friends, had responded. My thought was when I posted it was because on that day I actually had witnessed a gay slash lesbian. I'm not sure how to put it. I'm not sure what gender or
Mm-hmm.
is being abused. I was thinking by my own friends actually. So I was thinking, why are they doing this? If they don't like it, they feel disgusted. You can do other things, okay? You can either ignore
Yeah.
them and leave it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think social media platforms are a very good way. I think for sure most of us will have at least 200 friends, like at least or 100 friends in a social media platform, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So you can take to social media platforms. I think for our age, in our age, social media platforms would be the best option to promote gender
Promote.
equality.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you yourself experience any like gender discrimination throughout your life, or
Okay,
you know anyone?
just take just let's just take school life. I used to study in a co-ed school. I'm the type that don't I not to say barely talk to girls, but don't approach them unless approached first. See, thing is, girls or boys, they prefer their own gender for some reason. Okay. Let's just say for example, I'm pretty sure girls would accept gays. True
Yeah,
or false?
true.
Yeah.
Would you accept bisexual or lesbians? In that sense, in that sense, boys would prefer what lesbians, gay, girls would prefer gays. Come on, I don't think there is gender equality there. I don't understand the double standards going on in the gender equality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's just say girls. Okay, they'll talk to a certain people. They talk if they talk to boys. Not sure about the Philippines, but I'm talking about here. But what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
girls they usually talk to people, men or boys who are soft spoken, soft like very soft, very soft. See, there's still the double standards going on. When you want to approach a person, okay, a girl or a boy, you of course feel shy. Okay, you won't know because the gender inequality is still there. Inequality is another thing. In that sense, like why people feel shy when they talk to the opposite gender. That's the reason gender inequality. If your parents taught you to talk to women the same way as to men, usually parents tell you, okay, don't talk to this boy, okay, he's like that. Don't talk to this girl, she's like this. Or don't talk to girls, they might manipulate you. Don't talk to boys, they might manipulate you. They might do something to you. Yeah, the trust is not there. Gender equality, you have to touch so many phases. You have to first have trust. The trust is the thing that actually contributes to gender equality. Let's say for job opportunities, is the trust there? Why don't CEOs, owners of companies employ women to be their general manager or whatever higher position? Why don't women sit in a higher position? Why?
Because I guess they were not
Have you thought about it?
they don't trust another gender. It's more of
Mm-hmm.
They don't trust another gender. Okay, why do men prefer women as secretaries?
sorry.
As secretaries,
Oh,
assistant, personal assistant. Yeah, why?
Honestly, I do not know. But again,
yeah. Isn't that like the general stereotype?
stereotype.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. I like
Oh,
it's very hard to explain, but at the same time, I'm not sure biased. Why can't men take men, women take women, right? Why do women employ men more? Why?
I guess again stereotypes.
mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Even women CEOs feel more, how to say, secure when they employ men to do the job because they believe that men can do the job, finish the job better than women. Why is that?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
my opinion, it's because it's the lack of trust, one, and it's the lack of showcase of skills. When it comes to showcase of skills, you have to show your skills, then you get employed, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Let's say computer, when it comes to computer skills. Let's just say a man has better computer skills than a woman. Of course, the man will get employed. Most employers nowadays, they don't look at gender anymore. But are women giving it a shot, trying or applying for the job? Whether they get it or not is another thing, but are they really applying? Are
Well,
they really looking for the job? Do they really want to join the job? Or do they want to remain as a secondary option?
in some cases, there are women who still, of course, strive, but in other cases, it still remains that they believe that they're not going to get the job because of their gender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, gender inequality is very hard to explain. I think until our more educated part of the youth or young people have to change the system or the way that our ecosystem works. Okay, they
Yeah.
have to start giving opportunities. They have to give them more chances to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say you have
How do you think gender equality or gender inequality relates to poverty?
I read this on the internet right before the interview. Okay, a key finding is that in countries where many women have an income of their own, relates to actually poverty. The rate of poverty is actually quite low when women are actually employed. So, okay, what I'm trying to say is men sometimes can't earn enough. Let's just say
Mm-hmm.
you don't go to a university, you don't get a degree or diploma or whatever it is. You'd be going through a basic salary, right? Very basic salary, maybe just enough, just the right amount to survive the month. So when women also play their part in the household income, of course, poverty can be reduced
Reduced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in society. Gender equality, right, is both men and women earn. Like what I mean, the total sum of their income would really contribute.
Yeah, I believe that if
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
both genders have the opportunity to,
Yes.
thrive, I think our economy will become stronger and poverty, of course, would be less.
Yeah. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say teens these days, okay, you want a phone. Okay, once you start going to higher level or whatever it is, you want a phone, you want a laptop. Do you think families in the poverty group can afford it?
No.
It's obvious answer no. So what does the teen or what does the young adult, what's the choice that the young adult makes?
Usually they would work, I guess.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a 50-50 there. Some would go the right way, the right path. Some would go the wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
women actually like contribute, you actually have an extra income, which allows you to spend for your own happiness. You have your
Yeah.
own savings. Let's just say a man earn right enough, just the right amount to survive the month. You won't have any savings for your son's education, your daughter's education, whatever it is. Let's say house loans. Let's say one day you lose your job. One day you lose your job. The man loses his job. What will happen,
Mm-hmm.
It,
right?
yeah, it would be
They
Yeah.
difficult.
won't
After this,
survive.
So thank you for joining us today. I guess that's the end of our podcast slash TED Talk. Thank you, Harry.
well,
Thank
thank you for
you.
having me.
Yep. Welcome to today's Equality for Unity TED Talk. In today's episode, we will be discussing about issues on gender inequality. In today's episode, we have a special guest, Miss Gretchen Abesamis, who will be
Hi,
sharing her views about the topic.
good evening, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your any purpose you wanted to.
Thank you. You. Okay, so question this evening is, how do you think gender discrimination affects the livelihood of both men and women?
All right. The first scenario or question is that I will ask you guys like if you get married and only your husband is working, how likely it is that you are able to get your children into school if there's only one working in the family? See, so the first impact is that the education for our children. So if there's only one working in the family, so therefore the income is very low, or it's not quite enough for the children to go to school, right? So maybe that's the most crucial impact where this equality is not even accepted in our country or even in the other country.
I
It's my
agree.
just my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I also agree with that because, especially like for culture, they think that men should lead the family, which is something to be actually thought about. That the income, the education of the kids. I agree.
Yeah, and it's not really practical.
Next question. What do you think is the most prominent issue that prevents society from achieving gender equality?
All right. I hope I won't be put to jail when I'm mentioning the religious belief. The most common thing that has this gender inequality, because I'm not sure if you are aware with the Muslim rule that women should only stay inside the house. They are not allowed to work for a living. They are not allowed to talk to men or stranger. Yeah, and they are not also allowed to decide within themselves or for their own family. Okay, later on, maybe they will realize when I remember this news from Saudi Arabia where these women fight for their rights, that they should be given equal right from men. And then I'm thinking of the second one is the culture, where here in our country, maybe as far as I remember, somewhere in Abra, upper north. So girls only allowed, or girls have the lowest access in education because they are thinking, or the mindset is, anyway, someday or sooner you'll get married, and then you just think of your own family, take care of your family. So why do we spend more money to get you into school? Yeah. So we've got this first, the religious belief, and then the culture.
So have you ever experienced gender discrimination?
Um, I have this something to share to you guys. I was able to work in no, not Abu Dhabi, Dubai. So this an Arab country, though they are already in an open countries, but they are still embracing their tradition. So what we call the religious belief. So I worked there as a private tutor, and if you may ask, my that kid was, or that kid is a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since girls have a limitation to go to school, so I went there for like 1 year and 7 months as a private tutor. So I bring the kid in the school, and then if we, um, in the house, so I do the reviews of what have been taught, and then the assignments. And then one day, we were in the school, and then the kid wasn't inside the room, and then I forgot to wear my covering because we also required to wear the traditional abaya. They called it abaya. And then the shela, the covering for women.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to wear that. And then when I don't know if it's Arab or it's just a pretty but I'm sure he's an Arab. He was an Arab. So he just approached me and said, "Why are you not wearing a baya? Or why are you not covering your head? You haram." And haram means not good, or the worst is evil. So when they say, when they say to you haram, you're not good. You're like evil. So so I'm pretty aware. It's just that I just forgot to wear the covering. So yeah. So this man approach and say, "You haram, you Filipina. You don't really respect yourself." Yeah, it's indecent for them. and I was shocked. It's just, I think I was just 1 month then, so it's a pretty shocking experience way back then.
In your opinion, how do you think gender inequality can be reduced?
Oh, maybe the right campaign. And first, before that, you also have the courage to fight for it. The right campaign, the right information, of course, why we are or why we wanted to have this gender equality. Because um, if we just say, we wanted the equal rights, what for? Yep. And then maybe first that, and the last thing is the determination.
How do you think gender equality will change our society?
Okay. So I am thinking that we are able to change the society by if we are only allowed girls or boys, men and women have these equal rights. So therefore, there would be no saying that, oh, I am a girl, you should provide for me. Oh, I am just a woman, you should provide for me because you are man, you are stronger than women, let's say. So therefore, are we just depending on men to provide for us? Of course, no. And they don't understand what our necessities are.
Yeah.
So therefore, it could change our society. It is because um, we can break these barriers that women won't be dependent on men. I, if you, I don't know if you get it, but um, meaning employment would increase,
Mm-hmm.
and then we girls can even decide for our own, provide for our own,
We have
and
more opportunities, I
yeah,
guess.
we have the higher opportunities, and we are more confident within ourselves that, oh, I can do that,
Yeah.
and oh, um I can give you that even. I don't know if you are aware with this lady that she fought for her advocacies to the equal rights to drive. I think it is in Saudi Arabia. So this girl was jailed because she caught driving along the road, because way back in Saudi Arabia, girls or women are not allowed to drive.
Isn't it
But
also that girls are like not allowed to be seen outside their houses without their husbands with them?
yeah, without the guardian's consent
Wow.
or permission. So this girl was put to jail, but as I've said, she had the courage, she had the determination to get that right. And then when she was put to jail, so this was the case or the eye opener for the rest of the women in Saudi Arabia. Therefore, they hardly um, I think the campaign that women should have the equal right to drive. And now that's why they love this young king in Saudi Arabia, because they lift the rule of not allowing the ladies, the women to drive, and now they are able to drive. And the first night that they were allowed to drive,
Mm-hmm.
all women gathered together. They occupied the road with their big trucks, very exciting, very excited, and then they just keeping their horn very loud. So they were happy, and now they are allowed to drive, and then now they are fighting for an employment, that they are also allowed to drive a taxi for a living. So because of their determination, the courage, they really fought for that. So now they're happy.
Yeah. Fighting for women's rights step by step.
Yeah, step by step. Yeah, as long as we join together, and then we have this one vision.
Anything is possible.
Possible, yeah.
Final question. How do you think gender inequality relates to poverty?
Oh, as we will always go back to education. So now it is more important that education should be our priority. And if education is given to a certain gender, to only male but not for female, so how would our society looks like? Because we are most dominant. If you look at the population rate, girls are more dominant than men. So imagine in one company, let's say it's a factory, it's a heavy equipment or something, and there's only few men in there. So how would that company run?
Yeah.
If they limit, imagine that if they limit their qualification, if there's a gender discrimination, and then there's a within that gender discrimination is that we girls are lack of education. So what do we do? There must be a big impact, even not for ourselves, but even to the companies or the owner. I read this article that CEO level only 4% are women. See how low. 4%. And then for board position, only 15%. For managerial supervisor, only 10%. But we've got the highest rate from like the lowest level of position in the company. See, it is because they are thinking that men is more logical than women. And women is only can only is good in organizing, setting things up, something like that. So, but we cannot think wisely, they say. So that's why in their pyramid system or in their pyramid rating, so the CEO has the lowest rate for women, more likely to have their career up to that level.
Even politicians, there are always like more male politicians than women.
Yeah,
I think
because
it's
they say.
I think it's because they're saying the women act on emotion rather than logic, which is not true.
Which is not true. And then from my current work, they most likely want to hire a male programmer. It is because they said male are more good in numbers. And then we ladies are just good in coordinating, talking to someone. It's like we are more on PRO thing. Yeah, it's like we are just good in preparing something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very um, heartfelt to know that in all aspects, inside the house, industries, school, in business, so we ladies are more likely to get the lower position.
Yeah.
Or most likely to doubt that we can do that or we can achieve that. So that's why if we continue to have this gender equality or inequality, it is more likely that our society will be the first to feel, experience, or see the impact.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us in
Thank you.
today's TED Talk. Yeah. Thank you.